I'm very happy we have a full house. But anyway, something that would be a little controversial. And I remember the story. Today I work for Moravia, and Moravia is a company that I've known for over 17 years. The owner of the company, Arturo Quintero, some of you know him, has been my friend for many years. And in 2000, we were in New York in my apartment, and we were having a conversation about the positioning of Moravia. Moravia at that time was a $8 billion company. They positioned themselves as a small Eastern European translation company. And I told Arturo, why do you position yourself like this? This is wrong. What kind of information are you providing? What is the value of this information? So when Kosti asked me to talk to you, this being the first Ukrainian conference, I thought that this topic might be relevant. How many of you own translation companies? How many of you work in translation companies? Okay, how many of you are freelancers and want to have a translation company? Okay, how many of you don't even think of having a translation company? So what are you doing here? Get out of here. Okay, so there are 6 words in this sentence, and what are the 3 that are wrong? Small, Ukrainian, and agency. So my presentation is going to be very short and very simple. I'm going to tell you why these 3 words are wrong. So I was in Munich with the ELIA conference last week, and I found this statue of Michael Yepanov there. And I always heard that size doesn't matter. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Some of you can tell me why. But anyway, size doesn't matter in translation companies. Really. It's an information that is totally irrelevant. Okay? Do you go to a bank because it is a small bank or a big bank? Do you go to a restaurant because it's a small restaurant or a big restaurant? What does that information add to... Oh, sorry, I'm giving a lot of work for the cameraman. Okay, but then I can see all of you. What does that information add to the conversation that you're having with your potential client? So when I had this conversation with Arturo, I asked him, how big is your company? We're 200 employees. Wow, that's big. But why do you think you're small? Well, at the time I worked at Berlitz. Berlitz had 1,000 employees. Lionbridge has 4,000 employees. But if you compare Lionbridge to Hewlett-Packard, that has 100,000 employees, Lionbridge is small. Small is irrelevant. So this is a problem that we have with the translation business, that we think that we're not important. We think that our business is not as relevant as any other business. It's a problem. And when we come to peripheral countries, by the way, I am from Brazil, a very big country, but we think we're in the third world. We used to think. Now, well, the Argentinians think that they're better because they have the Pope, they have Messi, they have the Queen of Holland, but we're still... The microphone. Is this better? Okay. So, people in Brazil always think that when the news appears in the New York Times, it's more important than when it appears in the local newspaper. When something happens in Europe, it's more important than when it happens in Brazil. Even if Brazil is a bigger economy than most European countries, even if we have a lot more growth than many countries in the world, we still think of us as a third world country. And it's the same, I bet it's the same thing here, it's the same thing in the Czech Republic, it's the same thing everywhere that is not first world. Western Europe, the United States, Japan. So this inferiority complex, we have it twice in the case of the translation industry. We think that our industry is small, it's not important, and we think that the fact that we're small prevents us from having business. Well, the good thing about being small is that you can grow, and there is a lot of opportunity to move forward. So forget the word small. Don't ever say it. We are a translation agency. Well, first we have to talk about the Ukrainian. Okay, so when you think of Japan, so let's see here, this guy, Vitali. When you think of Japan, what do you think of?
Well, it's a small country, it's developed, it's in the east.
When you think about a Japanese product?
Well, now it's of high quality, but...
High quality, it wasn't before, okay? When you think, what's your name? Julia. When you think about France, what do you think about?
Perfume. Fashion.
Fashion.
Wine. Wine, yes.
I can drink. Danilo?
Denim.
Danilo. Okay.
Wine and food.
Food. Anna, when you think about Italy, what do you think about?
Pasta.
Okay.
Pizza. I'm not hungry. Well, something like that.
Okay, when I ask you, and you're filming me, should I dance? Okay. When I think, we should do the opposite now because I'm interviewing you. When I think about, when you think about Italy, what do you think about?
Football.
Okay, what else?
Spaghetti, like everyone.
Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted to hear. Who said shoes? Good. Okay, shoes. What kind of shoes?
Italian shoes, yeah. High quality, great.
Great shoes, right? When you think about Korea, what do you think, Alexei?
I don't know about Korea.
What about you, Tatiana?
Korea.
Korea, not North Korea.
South Korea.
South Korea.
Maybe small country with high quality products.
Let me pick another country there. When you think about, let me see here, Sweden. I can't read Cyrillic. Dimitri.
Sweden, high prices for business lunch. Yes, it's about 25 or 30 euros.
Okay, what else?
Nothing else.
What Swedish products?
Swedish product, IKEA.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
what else? Volvo, safe cars, okay? When you think about Ukraine, what do you think about? Motherland, okay. Okay, well, the point that I want to make here is unless your country adds any value to your brand, it doesn't have any relevance, okay? So if I want to say I am an Ukrainian translation company, it's the same thing as saying I am a Paraguayan translation company. I am, yeah, do you know where Paraguay is? No? You know, but could you point it on the map? Like, I bet you that 90% of the people in the world can't point the Ukraine in the map. I learned that it's not the Ukraine, it's Ukraine, okay? So, why is this information important? Do you, okay, so I had this conversation, who was I talking to before lunch? They said, I'm an Ukrainian company, I sell Ukrainian translations. Is that all you want to do the rest of your lives? Do you want to be just a Ukrainian? So let's say that I'm a potential client. I'm Andre. I have a big budget. And he comes to you and says, you're my friend. I like your company. I like the reputation of your company. And I want you to have an exclusive contract to translate 36 languages for the Sochi Olympics. Total value of this project, $40 million. What do you say? How many would say yes? Okay. Okay, very few. Interesting. I would say yes right away. Okay, this is an industry where you can buy anything. You can build a solution quite cheaply. So, unless you have the opportunity to create value with your name, with your nationality, I wouldn't add this at your description. I am an Ukrainian translation company. Have you heard anybody say that I am a French translation company? I am an Italian translation company? Yeah. Yeah, they're really big. What does Lion Bridge say? We are an American translation company. Does Moravia say we are a Czech translation company? You are a player, a global player. You are in the global market. Anybody in, let's say, in Portugal can go to Google and search for your company and find your company today. So you can sell anywhere. You're available, you're playing in a global marketplace. The fact that you say that you're Ukrainian doesn't add any value. So that's why I wouldn't use that term. Remote control. Okay, agency. What does the word agency mean? It's intermediate, right? So let's say that you are a real estate agency. What is the value that a real estate agent creates when you're buying a house? No, that's their commission. Okay, what value do they create? Time service? Time savings, they save you time. Maybe. Okay, what else is an agency? Security. Yeah. Do you trust a security agency? What do? They arrest you, right? Like the FSB? Is that an agency? A bureau agency? Escort agency. Right? Vladimir, you know that very well, right? No, I'm just kidding. So, you want to see his face red? Anyway, agency is an old word. An agency is an intermediary. Is a person that gets a job, sends it to somebody else, takes it back, and delivers to somebody else. If that's what you're doing, you're not creating any value. The real value of a translation, campagna. How's that? Perevodka? Perevodka, no. Perevod? Perevod? Campagna. If you're a translation company, you should be adding value in the process, right? There is something that you do between the fact that the client gives you a project and before it goes to the translator so that you can make the work easier for the translator. And when it comes back from the translator, your company should be doing something to create more value for the final client. So you can, an agency doesn't add value. An agency just transfers work. It's a file shuffler. Transfer works from one person to the other and back. If you are a real translation company, you invest in technology, you invest in customer service, you invest in developing standards, style guides, terminology for your client, developing a relationship with that client so that you maintain a constant flow of work. If you're just transferring files, you're not creating any value. So, if we cannot say that you are small, that you're Ukrainian, and that you are an agency, how would you position yourself? Zero. You don't position yourself? You know, talking about cultural things, when you did that to me, I was very offended. Because in Portuguese, this means, it's the same thing as showing the middle finger. Thank you. Yes. Any comment in the back? No? Translation company? Okay. LSP, language service provider. It doesn't matter, really. I don't know how you will position yourselves. I'm not telling you. The purpose of the this presentation is not to teach you how to do it right, it's just to tell you that you're wrong. I mean, what fun would there be? No, but seriously speaking, the way that you should position yourself is around the communication that you develop. Depending on your size, depending on your maturity, you're going to position yourself in a different way. You might position yourself as a niche organization, as a company that sells translations to the insurance industry. I met Yuri, who's an insurance company, there you go. So you can position yourself as a guy who translates for insurance companies. Is that a significant market? Is that a good positioning? I don't know, but it's a possibility. You can position yourself as an organization that sells a certain type of languages. So we are a multi-language vendor for Asian languages. Position yourself as a geographic company. We provide translations for the Baltic countries or something like that. Pay attention that I'm not talking about languages, I'm not talking about nationality of the company. I'm talking about the client that I serve. When there is one saying in sales that when you talk about yourself, it's an opinion. When somebody else talks about you, it's a fact. So you don't want to be talking about yourself. We have a lot of female attendants here. Do you like the guys that tell to you that they're good, they're nice, they're fantastic, and so on? No. But when your friend says, right, my boyfriend is great, then you're interested in her boyfriend. I like these smiles. Anyway, so don't talk, when you're positioning yourselves, focus on what the people that you want to sell to do, because that's the communication that matters to them. Okay? So, yes. Absolutely. So should you provide your location anyway? Yes. But it's not in your description, right? That's not the most important thing in your description. Unless your buyer is the Ukrainian government and they only want to buy from Ukrainian companies. Okay? Does that make sense? It's, what I want to say here is that first positioning. When a client comes to you, that first contact to sell your organization, that first 5 seconds that you have to make a first impression, what do you say when you shake hands? We are a small Ukrainian translation agency. Or you say, we translate science for the world. Does that sound better? We are the best. And they say, what? I don't know. What do you need? You can be adaptive. So it's very different between having a shy conversation, we're small, we're not worthy, and having a proactive and, yes. Some companies buy on real addresses in the USA. Is that what you said? Why do you think so? They show unreal addresses. And what's wrong with that? Do they get business? Do you? Okay? Again, this is another problem with traditional sales, okay? Don't talk about your competition. It's very good that you bring that point. What's your name? Maria, okay? Many people like to talk about how bad the other people are, okay? The other people are only as bad as the jobs that you don't get. The other people are bad because they got the jobs from you, not because they don't provide good services, they don't provide good translation or anything like that. There is a lot of envy in this business. As in other business, don't waste your time talking about the competition. Don't waste your time about the other people. Be concerned about you. What can you do to do a better job? If the other people have a fake address in the United States and they're getting work, copy them. That's what I would do. Copy their address. Exactly. Very good. Okay, how are we on time? We should be finishing now, right? But anyway, that was my last slide. Anyway, I work for Moravia. Moravia is a large localization company that only works with blue chip clients in the world. And we're always looking for partners. And I want to embarrass my colleague Hannah. Please stand up. If you want to sell to Moravia, talk to her. If you are freelancers or translation companies, campagne, go to that website, moravia.com/partners, fill a form, and you will enter our database. You will not win anything, and there is no guarantee that you're going to get any work from us, but if you're not there, there is a 100% guarantee that you're not going to get any work from us. I would like to spend 3 minutes to talk about a cause that is very dear to me. I am one of the board members of this non-profit organization. I mentioned it earlier, Translators Without Borders. We're very close to donating 10 million words. It's going to happen before the end of this month. 10 million words to non-profit organizations, mostly associated with healthcare in Africa, Asia, and South America. We need any kind of help that you can provide. You can sponsor. If you are a translation company and you want to have your name visible, you can be a sponsor. I think that we have a couple of, I'm not sure if we have Ukrainian companies. Anybody here is a sponsor of, I think that Exprimo in Russia is one of our sponsors. You can donate as an individual. 10 dollars, euros, 100 euros, any kind of money is welcome. You can pay with PayPal or a credit card or anything. Or you can also volunteer as a freelance translator or editor to work for the causes that we have there. So there is a database. You can visit translators.withoutborders.org. Any help is welcome. I personally like this organization very much because it's a way for us to give back and to train other people in countries where they don't have access to information as well as we do. And in the website you can see a video of a beautiful program that we have in Kenya to provide health information in I think 10 local languages about AIDS awareness. And we want to expand that to other countries in Africa by teaching. And you can go, if you are willing, one of our colleagues from Poland went to Uganda and trained several translators on MemoQ technology. MemoQ gave us licenses to donate to the translators locally. So please, if you can, help us there. And I don't know if I have time for questions, but
Yes, I guess we have approximately 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
As said Konstantin Dranch to me. So thanks Renato for the speech, thanks Moravia for Wi-Fi, and your questions please.
Спасибо.
No questions? Oh, okay, I have one. When do you think Moravia will open a sales or production office in Ukraine?
Never.
Thank you. Next question.
Why? It's not a strategic market for us. We specialize in very clear vertical markets, IT and life sciences, and 80% of our customers are in the west coast of the United States. Yes.
Is it possible to find clients in the United States being here in Russia?
Yes.
Without opening office in the United States?
Yes.
And how?
It depends on what. It's a long answer. The short answer is depending on what type of customers that you want. The easy way is to go to events like this. No, it's for her. Can you hear me?
Excuse me.
Yes.
I just want to ask one small thing.
Yeah.
So you have told us what the company should not do.
Yes.
If it wants to have a position in the global market, but what the company have to do? Explain us in brief, just in brief.
I said
What?
it. Don't ask me. Go and find yourselves. Hire a consultant. No. Okay. It's a good idea. Hire a consultant. But what you need to do is to position yourself to niches, right? Vertical markets, geography, specialization, location. You need to find what is the differentiator that you have. The translation industry is extremely fragmented. Are you hearing me? No? But how can you answer if you don't hear me? Okay, so it's very fragmented. In the United States, when two large companies merge, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, comes and analyzes the deal to see if there is any problem with concentration of power in that industry. So when there were mergers and acquisitions in the translation industry, the FTC came to my previous company, Common Sense Advisory, to ask about if there was any problem with the merger of two big companies in the industry. And we did an analysis. And we are not, from a concentration point of view, this industry is not fragmented. It is pulverized. So your question was about how can you sell in the United States?
Yes, yes.
The same way that I'm selling here. Go there and meet with people. It's the best way. And an easy way is to come and participate in conferences. If you want to sell to translation companies, go to a translation company conference. You have Gala here, you have ELIA in Europe. Today in Boston, there is the ALC conference, American Language Companies Association, yes. They're having a conference with about 200 translation company owners there. Go there. Go where the client is.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And give me a call. Okay. Yes.
Are there any complicated customers for you?
Yes.
I mean,
change the question. Have you ever seen a simple customer?
The problems with negotiations, which companies, B2B, aspects of negotiations with such complicated customers, B2B.
Yes. Each case is a case. There is no standard answer for that question because every customer is a universe. Unless you're selling to a relative, unless you're selling to a friend, you're going to have negotiations. We have to close. One last question over there.
Yeah, thank you.
He really wants to ask the question.
Really? So Alexander Bondarenko, company Translatel, Kirovograd. So actually, Renato, you've been speaking about Ukraine, not a Ukrainian company as a negative aspect. Are there some positive issues or aspects being a Ukrainian translation company? Thank you.
Do I have to be politically correct? You have some of the prettiest women in the industry. That you can use that, okay? But if the buyer is a woman, that doesn't work very much. No, but seriously, nationality, location, you can say, and I don't know, I actually do know. One of the advantages that you might have is a very low cost of employment here. So you might be able to position yourself as a production center to generate efficiencies. Because you see, in the translation, in the localization market, the way you make money is you put a margin on top of the translation cost, and then you charge a project management fee. So that project management fee, depending on the type of client, will range from 5 to 20%. That's an area where you can have a competitive advantage, the fact that you have low cost of labor. So compared to a company like us, compared to the Czech Republic, we have 300 people in Brno, which is low cost compared to Prague, low cost compared to the United States, low cost compared to Germany, but you're much lower cost than us. You can compete on that level. Just top of the mind thinking.
Спасибо огромное.